All right, welcome everyone to our Crypto Frogs AMA with the team from MileStone Millions. Today we've got Drew and George speaking on behalf of the project. So, can you guys start things off with a little introduction on you guys personally and the rest of the team behind MileStone Millions?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Lots of exciting things going on over at Milestone Millions. So, just a little background about our team. George is with us today. He's our COO. I'm serving as the CEO. We're a team of three partners. Our Chief Technology Officer, Guru, he's not with us today, but he handles all the technical aspects of the project. So, between the three of us, a little experience about me. Um, I have significant experience with project management, have worked in business, regulatory oversight, pretty much my entire career. George is a major player in private sector business. He's got a lot of experience in sales and marketing. He also has significant experience in project management and operations, and you'll see him. His face is out and about in our socials quite frequently. Guru, our CTO, he's responsible for all the tech oversight. Again, significant experience in fintech industry business as well. So the three of us, together make up, what I consider a real powerhouse. We are all KYC'd with Assured DiFi, and that's important in this space. And we are, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but we are one of the official projects of the BitRock blockchain. So from that aspect, we're our name in the game is building trust and transparency. So we also have a few technical advisors to the project. They sort of operate in the background and provide technical assistance as we need it along the way. We are partnered with several and have connections with several other large players in the crypto space as well. So that's a little brief overview about us.
Fantastic. Sounds like you guys are definitely a very well-rounded team. It's always good to have teams on here that are not just one person doing all the magic and stuff. And even on a project, on a base scale, it's good because we've seen a lot of projects that are just ran by like one person, and they tend to get very burnt out. So the fact that you guys are kind of splitting, responsibilities and things up, seems like you're treating this more like a business and less than a crypto project.
Exactly. We all have that. We've all come from business and currently work in a business setting. So we felt that that's an important aspect, to bring in and integrate into the project. We treat every decision that we're making as a business decision and what's best for our community and our investors and the business as a whole. So it works out really well.
Yeah, definitely. We can clearly see that happening, with what you guys are doing. I know you guys are a very, very well-built project so far. There's a lot to talk about. So I've got a set of questions here that I've kind of written down, done some research, and things I'm going to quiz you guys on basically. But
Sure,
but yeah,
sure.
we'll get started with I guess where did the name Milestone Millions come from? It's a very specific name. And can you quickly introduce Brock and explain why you guys chose to launch on this emerging chain?
Sure. So, Milestone Millions name sort of came to fruition. This has been a project that, the team has been working on for over 12 months now. We launched in September. As we were, we've all been players in this space, and we've all been accustomed to these sort of, projects that have vague direction and, very vague roadmaps. When we started to put this together, we wanted to be very specific. We wanted to have, a clearly refined roadmap with, attainable goals. And we realized that each one of these is a milestone in itself. So we conceptualized, this sort of business model of completing milestones, which, each time gets us closer, to the millions, and, came about the name Milestone Millions. So, that's our, all of our decisions are driven behind achieving the milestones that we're setting in place and getting us closer, to those millions. Our project is on the BitRock blockchain. BitRock is a proof of authority layer sidechain of Ethereum. They launched in July. They are a newer blockchain that's up and coming. We chose them for a number of reasons. They're a new chain, and anytime you partner with a new chain, there's ingredients for a massive explosion. So that's one of the things that we chose BitRock for. They have a strong community, large dedicated following, cheap transaction fees. And we'll get into some of the other reasons, I'm sure, as we go through your questions.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely a very creative background, I guess, to where the name came from. That you guys can, literally, as the name says, setting yourself milestones and aiming for those millions and beyond, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about BitRock, maybe not so much on the channel that we've spoken about, but personally, I have heard a lot about BitRock. So you guys launched just after BitRock went live, actually, didn't you guys? It went live in what you said, July, and you guys started in September?
Yeah, we started in September, correct, yes.
So you guys are a good couple months old, and we're seeing you guys take off just over the last month and a half or so.
Yeah, that is correct. We stealth launched. We had a fantastic stealth launch. And our growth now, I think we're tightening, everything. We're really making strides in our milestones. We have some, great things up and coming. So
amazing, fantastic, cool. So let's start things off with tell us about the reward structure of the token, and the Milestone Millions active and future participation in revenue generating venues. And also maybe just kind of like a little general introduction as to what the project actually is, stuff like that.
Sure. So from a reward standpoint, we are the only official partnered project with the BitRock chain that is offering rewards at the time. We have rewards built into our transactional tax structure. So they're immediately dispersed to holders anytime there's buys or sells. We have 1% of the transactional tax on the buy side and 2% on the sell side go immediately to holders of Milestone Millions. We have burn mechanism built into our contract, which George is going to talk about later on. I'm certain we're very excited about that aspect. And then for future planning, we have, additional revenue generating aspects that we're going to introduce that will yield additional rewards in transactions and or buys and burns into the project from that aspect. So, we're very much, distributing rewards instantaneously, through transactions. We have, we're continuously burning the supply, all of which is going to drive the price of the token up.
Very good. So you guys are a utility project then. I'm not guessing, but you guys are.
Yes, we've poised ourselves in that position. Yes.
Of course. So what are you guys actually doing? I guess like in like simple terms for people who don't really understand, proper terminology. You guys are, how are you generating this revenue again? And what, I guess, could you explain everything in simple terms, I guess, how everything works?
Sure. I'm going to actually let George jump in here because it can kind of tie in with some of our future roadmap as well. So I'm going to
Of
actually
course.
let him take the lead on this.
Yeah, take it away, George.
Yes, thank you. Hello from my side. I'm George. I'm not gonna reintroduce myself because Drew did that quite vividly. So, regarding your question, Alan, basically, yes, as our website says, which, by the way, we recently updated, um, and as basically Drew mentioned, we have three venues. This is the model that we would like to focus on, three separate venues of generating income. As Drew explained, the first venue that has already been introduced and is already working in our contract is the rewards from the transactions. Drew just mentioned the percentages. I think it's quite a significant amount. Embedded in our contract already is the burn-in mechanism. I will come back on that in a bit. But to answer your questions, we are working on two other venues. One of these will be, as you can see in our roadmap in phase 2, it will be the launch of an NFT collection. Basically, it's not just an NFT collection. I will give the floor to Drew on that in a bit, because he's on top of this venue, let's say. It's gonna be quite unique, if I might add, because there is quite some revenue sharing aspect on it. Is a brand new platform. Actually, is gonna really redefine, we believe, how the space perceives NFTs. It will be a contender of basically OpenSea and Blur, and we get through specific connections we have in the market to have basically a really early entry point on this venue, which we are very excited about, and our whole phase 2 is focused on that. By the way, the timeline for phase 2 is Q1 2024. And as I said, I will give the floor to Drew to elaborate on this NFT venue, but let me briefly, since I got the word now, briefly maybe elaborate on the third venue, which will be our gaming hub development. By the way, whatever I say now, you can also see it on our website. I think it's quite easily demonstrated there, quite self-explanatory. So for the gaming venue, we, after a lot of research that we did, and after discussing with key players of the space, we concluded that we would like to focus on developing an MMORPG game, something similar to maybe some of you are familiar with Lineage 2 or World of Warcraft, all these very famous MMORPG games. But then bring that, yes, I see that you are sharing, very good. What I'm discussing now is phase 3. And phase 2, as we said, is the NFTs, and already the burn-in mechanism that we have introduced. I will come back to that in a bit. So yes, as I was saying, for phase 3, the gaming hub development will be an MMORPG game, partially running on-chain, on Bittrex chain, which basically has very cheap transactions, a very fast block time. So actually the transaction speed on the testnet last week was 1 second, if I'm not mistaken, and I think it's going to be on the mainnet very briefly. So we are excited about that. The first MMORPG game, play to earn. We have a very good connection in the space, and we are already discussing the terms of a big partnership. I cannot mention the company's name yet. They are very known, and we will focus on that on phase 3. But I will give the word to Drew to elaborate on our second venue, which is coming first. Before we jump onto phase 3, let's elaborate on phase 2, because that's the second venue that is coming, income venue, and that's our NFT collection. Drew?
Sure. Tell us all about it. Cheers.
Yeah, so our NFT collection, probably one of the things that I'm super excited about now, and have spent a lot of time. We have very close connections with both the CEO and the COO of this project. This I call it a project, but it's actually a platform. And like George alluded to, it's definitely going to redefine how we've looked at and utilized NFTs in the past. I gotta be very careful because none of the information's public right now, but it's going to be massive. We are super stoked to be a part of this from the get go. There's the biggest thing for us. In addition to the recognition in the early, participation in this, there's a significant rev share aspect that's tied into it. That we're going to actually be launching an exclusive NFT collection as part of the MileStone Millions brand with this platform. There's going to be huge rev sharing, potential for huge rev sharing back to the holders of these NFTs, as well as the project itself, which in turn we are going to, be utilizing those revenue streams to continue to support the MileStone Millions projects, through a multitude of ways. So, from a beneficial aspect, it's certainly going to be a benefit, for people to hold these NFTs. And I think everyone, once they get their hands on one, is going to want one. But there's also going to be a significant portion that's tied back to the MileStone Millions token as well. So whether you hold an NFT, whether you hold MileStone Millions, or you hold both, the potential for growth there is just astronomical. Like I said again, we're working very closely. I was in DMs with the COO for a number of hours yesterday, refining some of these pieces. There's also some other partnership pieces that are going to be announced in the future regarding, MileStone Millions in this platform. So we're really excited about, that. We're super going to be highly focused on that through Q1 of 2024.
So quick question from me here. Sorry to
Sure.
jump in. So just to elaborate a little bit on these NFTs, are these NFTs themselves going to generate any revenue, or are they going to just split the current revenue or current revenue streams that you have planned, or is that an entirely different revenue structure?
It's an entirely different revenue structure, but the revenue structure on how this platform is structured in and of itself is completely revolutionary to what's out there on, in the market today. There
Right,
will
so it's
also be
providing its own kind of, revenue generation from that.
right, but there will
Very
also
cool.
be part of, it's going to be built into the revenue structure of our project as well. So really holders of these NFTs and holders of MileStone Millions are really going to be reaping the benefit of both, the project and the platform itself. So the potential here is huge. And we are very excited to be a part of this, from essentially the get-go of this platform.
Right. Fantastic. Sounds great. Yeah, it's good that it's providing its own kind of revenue, the NFTs, instead of like relying on splitting up the current or planned, revenue. We see that a lot of projects where they just release NFTs for the sake of releasing NFTs and then just have to siphon revenue from other, platforms or products into the NFT rewards. So you guys are releasing this in what was it, Q1 of 2024?
Q1 of 2024.
Q1 of 2024.
The platform is slated to go live, and like I said, we will be one of the initial mints that take place. We're really looking, our part of our goal for this project is to be securing, stakes with outside revenue, that will support our project. A lot of projects, are totally reliant on, the internal transactions of the project. And, we are breaking away from that mold, and trying to, really secure our, position and stakes in, reputable, projects and businesses that are out there, that are going to continuously provide these revenue streams, back to our holders.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. That's great. So after the NFT release, you guys are aiming for 10 million market cap and then the release of your Web3 gaming hub. Could you elaborate a little bit on that? Is there anything you can say?
Sure. I'm going to turn that back over to George.
Yes, correct, Alan. As you mentioned, after our NFT release, basically we will reach the target we have for the market capitalization. So we can fund basically what I said. It will be an MMORPG game. You can have it as an example in your mind, maybe World of Warcraft or 9H2, as I mentioned, on some other similar MMORPG games, but partially running on-chain. I know that it might sound a bit too distant compared to what has been introduced to the space so far, but we are in discussions with some companies who own these games actually, and we have presented a way and a model of actually monetizing these games and making them play to earn, basically for the gamers to be rewarded for their effort. And they actually loved this model, and we already have three, I think I can mention this, but we have three companies that they liked our proposal basically, and we are working out the details on the game itself. Of course, we need to reach specific thresholds in terms of funding and progress, because as you can understand, it's quite a big endeavor. Building an MMORPG game on chain and being fueled by our cryptocurrency. But that would be the thinking behind it.
For you. Cool. Yeah, obviously, like you said, it might sound distant, but I'm sure you guys will get to it sooner or later. Obviously, it's definitely a big, quite literally, milestone, and a big responsibility and stuff. So no doubt that will take some time. But super excited for you guys to launch your NFT collection as the first kind of major release. So you guys are also planning to release a DeFi wallet and some other utilities. Are these all going to be tied into the ecosystem? And could you elaborate a little bit on them?
Yes, if you could please scroll up a bit on the phase 4 of the roadmap. Yes, right here on the phase 4. Yeah, basically here what it says is that we will launch our MileStone Millions dashboard and wallet. Will basically be an environment. How we picture it is, imagine 3 big tanks. It's representing, let's say, the income venue coming from this specific endeavor. As we said, one will be the on-chain ventures, basically the rewards that we harvest from the on-chain transactions. The second will be the NFTs from the revenue sharing being generated from this new platform that we just explained. And the third will be our gaming hub from our MMORPG game. We're gonna generate some revenue, of course, and all this going back to our holders. So basically, whoever holds MileStone Millions can connect their wallet in this environment, in this dashboard, and they can see what they would expect for this time period, how well, basically everything will be transparent, so they can see how well we are doing in each specific venue, basically how much rewards are we getting from the on-chain ventures, how much we're getting from the NFTs, and how much from the gaming. so they know what to expect and they know basically how well their bucks will do and our token will perform. And all that is basically being will be supported by our burning mechanism. And if you want, I can also elaborate on that.
Yeah, please elaborate on whatever you think is necessary.
Because basically the way to support our token, of course, is you cannot have an ecosystem being inflationary and you trying to add value on it, and this value being eaten up, let's say, from having inflation. And that is why we have introduced our burning mechanism recently, which is now embedded in a contract. It cannot be stopped. How it works basically is that we have made a big burn of approximately 5% of the supply some months ago, and in those wallets, yes, you can see also here the live burning. Basically, what happens is that from each transaction being made on chain, a portion is being burned. And this, I repeat, cannot be stopped. So our token is officially now deflationary. So this total supply of 500 million can only be reduced and is being reduced. Currently, approximately 8%, as you can see here, 35 million have been burned. So that's the way to support the token and keep the price only going up by the revenue being generated from all the venues. We can do buybacks and burns and slowly reduce more and more the supply.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, being deflationary for utility projects is great. Like you guys, I think it fits very well into the kind of ecosystem that you're building. And the fact that it's integrated directly with your contract, that you can't really stop it, is quite good on the safety side as well. Obviously, we'll go into how you guys are verified safe in a bit, but it's great that is coded into the contract. I was actually going to move to the tokenomics section and kind of just, if you could talk us through, obviously, like you just said, the burn, the taxes. I know it's on screen, but the taxes and how the actual tokenomics work.
Sure, I can take that. So if we look at the actual tokenomics of our project, like George said, we started with a total supply of 500 million. All of them were mint. We put over 70, I think it was about 72%. We stealth launched. We put about 72% of the supply initially into circulation as part of our launch. We have a remaining portion of reserves, which we've used for our first sex listing, which we didn't even touch on that yet. And from a tax standpoint, we have a 3% buy tax and a 6% sell tax. We feel that that's that nominal tax goes into supporting LP rewards, and a small portion of that goes into operations, which we use to fund various on-chain competitions. We've done biggest buy competitions, those kind of things, and we're circulating our operational funds back in to the project from that.
You touched on the auto LP being 1%. Is that liquidity burned, or is it locked, or what are you guys doing with it?
That liquidity is being auto-injected into our pool as part of each transaction.
Yes, but is your liquidity pool locked or burned? Or
yes. Our liquidity pool is locked currently through Sphinx Labs. We have, I believe we have pinned in our chat, we have the lock information pinned in our chat. So if anyone is interested in taking a look at that.
Sure, yeah, but just for the listeners, how long is that liquidity locked for?
We initially locked our liquidity for 3 months. We just re-locked it for another 3 months.
So it's locked for 6 months total.
Correct. Yes. Yep. We
Cool.
actually just relocked it a couple days ago. So our 3 month, our initial 3 month period had unlocked, so we relocked it.
All right. So it's locked for 3 months from today, right? Let's just say
correct. That. Yes. Yep.
3 months. Is there any plan to extend that because it's relatively short compared to
Yep. We certainly have plans to extend that. As of right now, we, being new in our project, we didn't want to lock that out too far. But we do have plans to lock that or burn that in the future, definitely.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about. Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
Let's talk about that CEX listing you were talking about. So you guys have been listed on your first CEX, I think. Yeah,
so we listed with DexTrade. We are currently paired with USDT over on DexTrade. They are a top 70 CMC ranked centralized exchange. So I would encourage people to get over to DexTrade and check us out there. You can, right now we're currently paired with USDT. We are going to be adding an ETH pairing shortly. That is in the works. DexTrade is we worked out and negotiated full integration with the BitRock blockchain. So you can actually withdraw and deposit directly from BitRock mainnet, very similar to what BitRock can do on Bitmart and MEXC with their direct integration. So I would encourage everyone to check us out over there as well. We definitely, I want to kind of circle back and talk a little bit more about BitRock, and some of the benefits. I think I highlighted a few, but I'd like to circle back and kind of talk about them.
Yeah, go for it.
So we have, like I said at the start, we are an official partnered project with the BitRock chain. So as part of our onboarding process with them, our contract went through a full audit. We KYC'd with Assured DiFi. These were all part of the requirements to become an official partner with the BitRock chain. We have a very unique situation and very, very close ties with the BitRock team. We are pretty much in communication with the BitRock team on a daily basis. And they're very, very supportive of the project. I want to highlight that recently they've shown significant investment in our project. The BitRock team has purchased over 8 million MileStone millions and have burned them as a token of appreciation and their commitment to the MileStone Millions team. So I want to send my sincere gratitude publicly to the BitRock team. I know I have in a lot of the chats, but I think from an ingredient standpoint, I mentioned everyone wants to be in projects early, and here being part of MileStone Millions, you're not only in one project, but you're in an up and coming blockchain. We feel confident that BitRock is going to see explosive growth over the next year and into 2025 as we move, from the bear into the bull. And anytime there's a movement in the BitRock chart, there's movement in our chart as well, and vice versa. So we have a very good symbiotic relationship with the BitRock team, and we're looking forward to that continued commitment really from both sides.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? We should actually talk about that because that is bigger than a lot of people like think. Um, being supported by the actual blockchain itself, I guess, that you are building on, is huge. I mean, that's the equivalent of like being supported by, the Ethereum team, like Vitalik Buterin, or, you know, and the fact that even though, BitRock is still on a small scale and there's still lots to grow and lots to do, um, that is definitely a huge thing. And I think that needs to be talked about a bit more. So you guys are working like directly with them in a way?
Yeah,
or are they
I
supporting
mean,
you?
yeah, they certainly, are supporting us on a daily basis. We, obviously our, it's a joint effort. We are trying to bring, eyes onto our project, and, as part of this, we need to bring eyes onto the BitRock chain as well. In order to get to our project right now, one of the biggest ways is through, having Brock and, going through, the decks and so on. BitRock has some explosive things of their own that are coming. And with this relationship of working closely together and supporting each other, we exponentially expand our networking, in our growth opportunities. And that's important. And MileStone Millions is, has come out in front of the pack with a lot of projects. And we really are trying to poise ourselves as being, out in the front in the project, on the BitRock chain. You know, highlighting a few things that are coming, from BitRock. They got a multi-chain DEX that's coming up, which is, we are really excited about because it's going to allow, from an exposure standpoint, once this multi-chain DEX is released, which is, coming up quickly in Q1 for BitRock, this is going to have a huge impact on us. We feel it's going to be a lot easier for people to get, to us and buy. We are whitelisted, by the way, on RockSwap. That's the native DEX of the BitRock chain. We are whitelisted there, so people can go directly and pick MileStone Millions from the drop-down menu. There's no contract that's needed from that aspect if you trade through RockSwap on the BitRock chain. That's another plus about having close connections and being connected with the BitRock team. Small things like that can have profound impacts as we move forward. Yes, a huge aspect, and one of the reasons why we've chosen BitRock is gas fees are practically zero, and we've all come. I think everyone's been through the Ethereum side and the high gas fees there, and having to think about when you want to make transactions and move and when's gas low. That's not a problem on the BitRock chain. Gas fees are practically zero. I tell everybody, when we send, a couple Brock as gas, like that's gas for life, essentially. It's always going to remain that way. Never have to worry about high gas fees on BitRock. But yeah,
Fantastic.
Going back, I think you're absolutely right that, being an official project and having that connection, with the dev team from BitRock is huge. And, we definitely appreciate, their support, and it's reciprocal from both sides. And I think, collectively together, we're going to go big places.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the good thing as well is that because you guys are working with the BitRock team, I guess, people, I mean, chain owners love people building on their chains and love people bringing attention. So we've seen this happen with Solana over the last few weeks, where indirectly, two of the Solana founders were kind of indirectly shilling or supporting some big meme coins on their chain. I don't know, this is maybe slightly different, but what I'm trying to say is that when there's something on a new chain or on a quiet chain or an upcoming chain, whatever you want to call it, when there's something doing well and something building, it tends to get supported by the founders and by the owners or developers team, whatever you want to call it. And in that sense, it kind of becomes part of that ecosystem in that chain. And it can be very, very good for both the chain and the team of the project that are building on the chain as well. So you guys are kind of like co-marketing each other in some way, whether it's directly, indirectly, whatever it is. But it's definitely very, very impressive to see. We've seen projects go to millions and millions on Solana just because they're supported by the founders indirectly, like they replied to a tweet or posted a meme or something. I quite like that. You guys are doing something very, very well here.
Yeah, exactly. And even from a personal standpoint, because we have, just me speaking personally, because the BitRock team has, a vested interest in us and is supporting us, it makes me work harder, knowing that, almost from a fact that I am not going to let this, chain down and, these founders down. Like we are here to become a force to reckon with, and we are going to, go out there, and make this, the chain to come onto and build. And these are all the reasons. And, look at what we were able to accomplish. Obviously the more the chain gets traction, the better it is for us. So again, building back to that, it's a symbiotic relationship. There's benefits, and we want to, build off of, them. They want to build off of us, and we want to move on.
Maybe Drew, exactly. Maybe good to highlight once again that basically BitRock is launching this multi-dex, as you said. Basically, it will be integrated with more than 50 chains from the beginning, as they recently announced in the Telegram and Twitter. Feel free to check that out. And it's coming any day in Q1 of 2024. That's the expectation for now. We believe that money from all chains will basically, with a click of a button, can flow into the BitRock ecosystem with no bridges needed, just from this DEX. So very easy to use, and it has been one of the base cases for the ecosystem of BitRock chain. So it's highly anticipated. And of course, when money start flowing in this ecosystem, we, as you said, as the leading and established project on the chain, we also expect that we're gonna do well. So yeah, as you said, it goes both ways. We support the chain, and they support us.
Yeah, definitely. You said it pretty much. You're supporting the chain, and the chain is supporting you. And I think it's going to come into play a lot more when you guys are a lot higher up, and of course when the BitRock chain is a lot more popular as well. So before we start our community questions and the Hoot trivia, is there anything you guys want to just touch on or talk about? And also, why would you personally consider the MileStone Millions project a good product to be a part of?
That's a good question. I'll let George.
Yes,
I'll give a very biased answer.
Yes, I think we can both mention our personal opinions here, Drew. From my point of view, and seeing a bit the things from the background, I have to say that Drew is highly connected in this space. And for example, for this NFT platform that is launching, being one of the very few projects to have an entry in this new revenue sharing model from the very beginning, I think is a unique opportunity. So just by knowing that, I would personally invest. And of course, the same goes for our gaming hub. Basically, why we can now step out and say to everyone that we can build and we can be sure that we can deliver an MMORPG game is again due to our connections in the space. We are not planning to do everything by ourselves. We are planning to partner with experts, and then we bring this revenue that these experts will anyhow build and share for their own projects. We plan to bring back to MileStone Millions. So knowing this and basically knowing the connections that we have in the space, I would definitely say, okay, it is worth it to invest, personally speaking. Drew?
Yeah, and I just want to add, I think, our approach to how we are approaching this project, like you had highlighted from the beginning, it's a business to us, and we are out to make decisions, for success, and couple it with a fully KYC team. We have a solid team from our backgrounds. George does mentioned we have significant contacts within the space, and we're, like you said, we are not doing everything on our own. We recognize that in order to advance us forward, we need to engage with industry experts out there. And that's exactly what we're going to do from a business standpoint, engage with the experts, and really produce.
Amazing. Great stuff, guys. Thank you for your, I guess, pitch of MileStone Millions. We'll move on to the questions that the community have here. We have a bunch of questions to go through. So let's see. All right, here's one. Here's a good one. Crystal asks, greetings, team. In your phase 3, based on written on your website, there'll be a plan to develop a gaming hub. My question is, will holding NFTs be beneficial also on the gaming hub, or will NFTs integrate on the gaming hub, or is there any discounts on buying stuff there? Because if there's any additional benefit on that, I'll secure a bunch of NFTs.
Even from an NFT standpoint, if we just remove the aspect of the game, there's going to be significant benefit to holders of these NFTs. So even without the gaming structure attached to it, there is definitely, by far, I'm super excited about this, that there is going to be a benefit, and people are going to want these and be fighting over them. Everything we're doing from our sort of integration is building up to the gaming system, and parts of it will be built into the ecosystems in some ways. As we get closer to that, details will be released and refined.
Fantastic. One more question from me, actually. I forgot to mention. On your website, it says that you guys plan to go multi-chain in the near future. What's the plan with that, and how will you guys balance the multi-chain growth when the time comes?
So part of going multi-chain at this stage is being integrated in other capacities as far as our short-term roadmap. The NFT project and platform is going to be part of those multi-chain integrations. So that's really all I can kind of elaborate on that.
Oh,
yeah, okay, no worries. So another good question.
Sorry, Alan, if I can add to this nice question of yours. As Drew said, it's mainly an integration. Basically, we will remain on Bitrock. Our chain will always be Bitrock, our flagship. And different ventures that we're working on might initially be on different chains. So until we bring all those to Bitrock itself, we would like to be integrated. So just having this potential and flexibility there.
Yeah, making it easier for people to get on chain is really our goal through the integrations.
Perfect. Yeah, really like that. Cool. So another good question from the community here. So Not Elon asks two very good questions, actually. We'll go with the first one first. What's the reason you chose to develop so many utilities in a single project rather than picking a single niche and focusing on it to make it the best?
I can take this one. It's a very nice question. The reason basically is that if you see our roadmap, we think is quite tangible, is straightforward, and it's doable. Let's say it simply. Basically, as we said, we are not building this platform. It's a huge project by itself. We are just a small part of it that we can, of course, be one of the early players. But it's not that we are building this platform ourselves. We are taking the benefits of being early on this and collaborating with this huge partner. What I would say basically is we are a rewards/gaming token, as we said in our description, and basically the utility that we will develop ourselves in-house is the gaming hub. So to answer your questions, it's not that we are not focused. Our focus will be on the development of the MMORPG game indeed, but along the way, we would like to ensure sustainability by having multiple venues of income. We already delivered the on-chain ventures. The NFT ventures will be delivered in Q1 2024, and then full focus on the game itself.
Yeah, and I agree with that, because I think sometimes if you focus too much on one thing, not only does it get boring, but the market is always changing, and you never want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly, and let's say that for a couple of months there is not so much interest for the NFT collection, or we are in a bear market and there is not so much interest, but people will still like to play the game, for example. So then our holders of MS Mill will still make revenue on this month, or will still hold the token and get the benefits of the on-chain rewards. So having multiple venues ensures sustainability, especially in tough times. And since we are here for the long run, we have to build our model for the long run also.
Yeah, and speaking of sustainability, this goes into not Elon's second question. There are lots of games implementing blockchain technology, but users have always been an issue. How do you intend to achieve balance or growth of your users, considering the fact that what you might offer might already be available by other games?
Yeah, basically also depends on the chain, and that is one of the reasons that we have chosen basically Bitrock, because we believe that it has the capacity and the potential to sustain such a game. Of course, an MMORPG game that complex basically cannot run fully on chain, and no chain can handle that in terms of not every in-game transaction. I mean, can be a non-chain transaction, but it can be partially. So some ownership of specific items, valuable items, can be verified by a chain or NFTs. So yeah, basically that's why we chose this, and we are focusing on targeting games with existing big user bases. So that's a way to go to make something that there is not in the market.
Correct. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what you guys have to offer in terms of the Web3 gaming hub. Like Elon said, there is already quite a lot of Web3 gaming stuff out there. Most of it arguably good, but yeah, I'm very excited to see what you guys bring to the table. Another question about the gaming platform or hub from Victor. How frequently will updates be added to the gaming levels to keep both old and new players equally excited? And how will the project be able to match players based on experience or avatar strength? Also, will avatar lending be possible for players to borrow and earn from their winnings? Very specific questions.
Yes, that's very good questions. Yeah, basically, I can say that once we fully focus on the game, and it's gonna have a dedicated team by its own. It's not that us again. We have to run the whole MS Mill, but we already have actually some experts on Web3 gaming that are gonna fully be focused on that. So ensuring that the development is up to the standards, ensuring that there are updates, has been mentioned in the question, so the users have new things, new additions, and are keep playing in the game. It's going to be fully, continuously developed.
Cool, great stuff. Very, very cool stuff. We'll take another couple questions here. Yes, actually, someone asked a question. I just lost it. Oh yeah, here we go. I don't know what your name is. It's a whole bunch of emojis, but they say you have 3% buy tax and 6% selling tax, and your roadmap shows that you're planning to be listed on most large CEXs. Most of these popular exchanges use zero or low tax. Do you have an alternate plan for your LP sustainability?
That's certainly, that's certainly something that's negotiated between, any sex listings that, we're looking at, as we move forward. That would be something that would be negotiated, directly with the sex itself.
Yeah,
so I can't really speculate at that, at that point.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'll give you my personal opinion. I've listed projects on CEX before. It can be slightly difficult if your taxes are high. But have you guys renounced your contracts, or do you still have ownership over it?
We are still holding ownership of it, with plans to renounce at some point. But once the contract is renounced, that can cause, for a project that's building long term and something that's sustainable. We are holding on to ownership at this point.
Yeah, and I definitely agree that's a good move for a product of this nature. Have you guys got the ability to alter that tax or potentially lower it?
We do. There is a max cap on the tax that's built into the contract, but we do have the ability to lower the tax, if and when that time comes.
Great, sorted. So if you do need to get on a CX and they require like less than 2%, you guys can make that change. That's really, really good. So yeah, I would hold on to that ownership until you guys get that stuff sorted out and properly figured out as to how you're going to move with CX listings in the long run. But definitely great to hear about that. A lot of teams, they renounce their contract with like 10% tax, and they struggle to go mainstream really because they are kind of limited by CXs sometimes.
Right, yeah, and that was our thought from the get go. Again, we're partnered with BitRock. We're KYC. We're really building something that's sustainable for the long haul here.
Definitely. Bestlayer, it seems to be a lot of questions about the gaming hub. People are really interested in that. Will MileStone incorporate support for virtual reality or augmented reality gameplay? If yes, what mechanisms will amplify the immersion for players?
First of all, I have to say that I really like your audience questions. They also giving us ideas here. But
yeah.
As for now, as we said, our focus and our plan is to basically bring an MMORPG game on chain. This, as an endeavor, has not happened yet. As you said, we see a lot of Web3 gaming going on, but there are not a lot of decent, and ours will not be decent, will be quite amazing, what we have been working on, if I might say, and the focus will be an MMORPG game. Whoever has played such a game knows the potential of it, knows that it has its own embedded economy, and that's basically the monetization model that will drive it, connecting this in-game economy with a cryptocurrency, with MS Mill, basically with real-world money. And on top of that, then you can do all these additions, all these nice suggestions that the listeners are saying. Augmented reality could be a thing. To be completely transparent, we have now started developing the game, so we know the core of it, which will be an MMORPG game. Again, as an example, you can imagine World of Warcraft, for example, and then we are talking about a Web3 game, so all these additions could be a potential for sure.
Definitely super good stuff from you guys. I'm loving the answers to questions as well. Hitting the nail on the head. So let's have a look. We'll take one last question. I'll pick it at random. Let's have a look. Maybe I won't pick it at random. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Divine asks, how does black market trading of in-game stuff connect to make... Oh, I've lost the question. Telegram has bugged out. Bear with me. Sorry about that.
Worries.
There's so many questions that sometimes Telegram just bugs out. Here we go. How does black market trading of in-game items connect to making sure that you really own things securely? And how does MileStone Millions handle this? Also, what tech from the blockchain does MileStone Millions to use to make sure own in-game stuff? Make sure you actually own in-game stuff. And how does it make the gaming experience better? I think he's asking more if in-game items are NFTs or kind of items on the blockchain.
Yes, exactly. Well, NFTs is a way, of course, and is the most possible way that we will follow. An NFT is a proof of ownership by itself. So, when the time comes, that's actually what we are thinking of implementing. That you own a character, let's say, and basic items will be NFTs, and then if you wanna trade them on chain to give it to another wallet, which will be another character, another person, then you will trade potentially these NFTs. I really wouldn't at this point, sorry to say that, would like to reveal our own model behind it, because as you can imagine, we have to protect this and build on it, because if I now reveal all of the ideas behind it and how we're planning to build it, then someone else can simply go and build it.
Definitely. No, I can definitely respect that. Definitely.
Is the question.
Definitely does answer it somewhat, I guess, or give a good perspective. Cool. So I think that wraps up our questions. If you guys have any questions that I haven't managed to ask to the team or read out, I'm sure they will more than welcome your questions in their Telegram chat. So head over there if you have any more questions to ask. Drew and George, I want to thank you guys for coming on. If there's any kind of last words or things you want to mention before we head over to our trivia about MileStone Millions, do let me know, or just go for it.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for being a part of this today. Encourage you to join our socials. We have a super strong admin team over in our Telegram. I know there's been a lot of great questions. I know we didn't get to a lot of the questions, so feel free, jump over into our Telegram. We are, always available, or try to make ourselves, as available as we can, given the work that we're doing. But we have a very strong admin team in our Telegram group that's more than capable of helping you get the answers that you need. So thank you.
Yes, so a big thank you from my side, Alan. Thank you for having us. Thank you to all the listeners. Great questions indeed. And I also see some very nice buys. So thank you for the support. As Drew said, always welcome to come into our Telegram and we can have a chat on your thoughts, suggestions, questions, anything.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming on. You're more than welcome to stay for our Kahoot trivia if you wish. It's all about some of the questions that we've asked and topics we've discussed over this AMA. But I understand if you guys need to go and you're busy. No worries.
I will stay. I like this. I have seen some other of your AMAs, to be honest. I like
Oh,
that.
fantastic. Great. Well, at least you know how it works. So yes, guys, as usual, you can join the Kahoot with this link. I'm going to drop it in the comment section. Make sure you join with your Telegram username, so I know who wins what when the time comes. But yeah, we'll give you guys a couple moments to join up here. Yeah, what do you guys think of MileStone Millions? Definitely a very, very interesting project. Something new on a new chain, I guess. We've had a lot of ETH and Solana stuff recently, so not saying change is the best option all the time, but definitely something to explore, to think about. There we go, we've got 13, 14 players in here. So join up, guys. Who knows? Maybe MileStone Millions will make a decentralized Kahoot that's on chain. Who knows? Is that in the plans?
Another suggestion. A lot of
Another
notes,
suggestion,
yes.
see. All right, guys. I'm going to wait till we have about 22, 23 people in here, maybe more. And then we'll get started. All right. I'll give you guys another 30 seconds to join up, and then we're going to run it. $30 seconds. 20, 19, 18, 17, 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Mike has prepared for us, I believe, 10 questions, 8 or 10 questions, all about MileStone Millions. So let's see what he's got for us. Yeah, 10 questions we got today. So which of the following statements best describes MileStone Millions? Is it a long-term rewards token, a new utility project, a deflationary rewards / GameFi system, or a community-driven GameFi system? This could be a couple, actually. A deflationary rewards / GameFi ecosystem. You would have chose what, sorry?
Same, yes. That's a good description.
Yeah. A pretty good description. I think one person got fooled with the long-term rewards token, but it's not just that. Not just that. On to question 2. What chain is MileStone Millions currently running on? Very, very easy question here. Very easy. Easy and obvious. And yeah, it is on the BitRock chain, as expected. On to question 3. What utilities is MileStone Millions currently working on? What is currently in the works? What is currently in the works? And 2 out of 3 of the above. So the gaming ventures and the NFT collection. believe. Yeah. Those you got that right. Congratulations. On to question 4. What other utilities / plans does MileStone Millions have in store? Oh, quite a few options here. And all of the above. Absolutely all of the above. I think some people got tricked, but yes. Top tier listings, marketing, custom DeFi wallets, and dashboard, multi-chain expansion, and revenue share for holders from everything. So yeah, great stuff. On to question 5. Halfway through. MileStone Millions has a total supply of blank tokens and a blank buy and blank sell tax. I think I know the sell tax, buy and sell tax, we discussed this, but supply we didn't. Supply, they didn't. So let's have a look.
The website.
And yeah, it is on the website. 500 million and 3 and 6. MileStone Millions taxes are allocated towards where do they go? I think it's very obvious. All of the above. Yeah, most of you guys got that right. Good stuff. And on to question 7. How many roadmap phases / stages does MileStone Millions have? I know the answer to this question because we were talking about it. And it was on the website. And yeah, 4 phases, not 6, 4. With phase 2 starting in, phase 2 already started, finishing in Q1, I believe, 2024. True or false? MileStone Millions is already audited and the team is fully KYC'd. Don't know whether we discussed audits. I know we discussed KYCs.
We are fully audited, yes, that's correct.
Fully audited. There we go.
Yeah.
And fully KYC'd.
Yes.
Oh, it's getting very close here, down to the hundreds of points. Onto the penultimate question. What market cap did we originally call MileStone Millions at? I know this. And yeah, 117K. I think you guys are at what right now? You guys are at all-time high, actually. 200K right now.
We actually, after you called it, we rallied. We did a nice 100% move and all the way to 225K. So yeah, it was quite a good call that you did.
Amazing. That is what we like to see, eh? That is what we like to see. All right.
Start.
Let's look at the scoreboard. Wow, Melo straight to the top. I think he's taking a clear first place there. Chad in second is currently between Chad, Mesh, and don't want to butcher your name. So let's see who's going to get the last question right. I think it's the easiest question. Multi select who represented MileStone Millions in today's AMA. Who represented? Drew and George. So you guys get a point. I think extra points for picking both. But yes, Drew and George. Let's see who's going to take the podium. This one's close. Third place, we have 08. I'm just going to call you 08. I don't want to butcher your name. In second place, we have Mesh. And in first place, very, very obviously by a long shot, we have Malo. A regular occurrence seeing Malo up here on the scoreboard. But yeah, congratulations to you guys. Eagle-eared, can we say? Eagle-eared, eagle-eyed. Done their research, listened in. Congratulations. We'll have your prizes sent over later tonight. And yeah, congratulations, guys. Thank you for playing. We still got to pick our best question, or should we pick after the AMA? We'll pick a random listener real quick. Drew or George, if you just want to tell me when to stop, I'm just going to scroll down and pick a random person.
I like stop.
All right, we got Otto from Golem's Gems. Otto, my copy username, my friend. I'll have your little prize sent over shortly. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you to a big thank you to George and Drew for coming over. Really look forward to hosting you guys again. Really looking forward to hosting you guys again a couple months down the line when you guys have a lot more development. I know you guys have a lot to do. Yeah. Definitely. Well, best of luck with that.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you to the CryptoFrog community as well.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on. If there's anything else we can do for you, do let us know. Obviously, we'll keep updating you guys, keeping the frogs updated on what you accomplish and do over the next few months. So, yeah, best of luck and keep us in the loop.
Amazing.
Super.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Take care, guys. And have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes.
Happy New Year. Take care.
Bye-bye.